Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Around the Game Wednesday episode 4 p.m. With me tonight, I am blessed with the presence of a volleyball cranes. Is that correct? Yeah, a volleyball cranes. That's Okumu Smith, one of the best players to have played the volleyball game in Uganda. He's particularly a setter. He 2018 USPA Player of the Year, six-time league champion, two-time national champion, six-time best setter in Uganda in the Ugandan League. Yes. Smith, you're very welcome to the show.
Thank you for hosting me, Jiro.
Yes. Yes. So, Smith, why did you begin playing volleyball and how did you begin playing volleyball?
Well, back then when I was in P5, we used to play volleyball just for fun. Actually, it wasn't volleyball. We would just put a rope up, then we start passing the ball over each side. I was in P5. Then fast forward, I went to Lugazi Mixed, Senior 3. I liked football. I believe I used to play better football than volleyball. So when I was there, I met a couple of guys who knew volleyball, and I would be also on the side of the court playing volleyball. So the coach noticed there is talent here. Let me try and groom it. That was Coach Lualanda Jeff. He's now in Ginger, but I'll say he's the foundation of my volleyball.
So I basically just encourage you to begin playing the game.
I used to play football. Actually, he would see they had a setter then. He was called Omar. Yeah, he was a very good setter. So I would just go around the court to watch them play. So Omar left the school. So the team had spikers and they had no setter.
Okay.
So the coach had to look around to pick someone to set. So he would see me playing with the ball with my friends, Sabin to Hatim. Some guy is now an artist, but I used to play with him.
On the side?
On the side, just get a ball when the other guys are busy doing other things. You play, I'll beat. So that's where the coach saw me and told me, you have to play volleyball.
And that's where the journey began.
Yeah, he took my soccer boots and gave me sneakers. So
okay, so tell us about your history of volleyball, like the teams you've played for, maybe in like high school. How many high schools have you been to? I've played volleyball from there.
I've always been a one-man team. Um, I played high school volleyball for only Lugazi Mixed. Lugazi Mixed, I started playing for Lugazi Mixed competitively in my senior four. That was 2006. And yeah, just started like that and see where I am now.
Then club level, how many teams have you played?
I've also played for only Nemo Stars.
Really?
Yes.
How many years have you been with Nemo?
I've been with Nemo Stars actively playing 10 years, but as a member 13 years.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you mean 13 years?
13 years because the old man, the patron of Nemo Stars, is called Neko Ojala Muduse. He came to Lugazi Mixed. He had a couple of players who were on scholarship at Lugazi Mixed. So he came to visit. So one of the players, Oyat Ben, calls me and was like, come and meet the owner of Nemo Stars. So I go. From there, he told me, I want you to join my club. He showed great interest, and I was also interested. So that's how I came to be.
So you signed a contract when you're still at school before you fully joined the team?
It was a verbal contract, really. It wasn't a contract. He just told me, come play for me. And I saw it was a great opportunity. Nemo Stars was a good team. It had good players. So I was like, okay, no problem.
And the rest was history.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a volleyball player, I'm very sure you have some values that you like follow to lead you become successful.
Yeah.
What are some of those values?
Hard work and discipline, and that's the motto of our team as Nemo Stars. Playing for Nemo Stars, it's hard work and discipline. Okay. Everything else can come along. Work hard, be disciplined. Yeah, that's.
Okay. Do you maybe look into coaching sometime?
Sure. I actually coach now.
Really?
Yeah. I've been coaching with a colleague of mine, my teammate, Emma Elanyo. We had some days we would go to Sudiri School, Kampala International School. We would go there, Kisu.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take you briefly back to your high school volleyball.
Yeah.
Who are some of those players who really inspired you to begin playing? Because I believe a man of your, can I say, repertoire, I'm very sure you were motivated by some players in high school prolific players, if it's correct.
Yeah, high school was nice. There was strong teams. There was Chitende, Katikamu, and us. But in Lugazi mixed where I was, I used to admire Okore Patrick.
Okay.
He was a very disciplined guy and a hard worker. He doesn't play anymore, but those are the guys who helped me out. And Sigo was very supportive. We Okorot Steven, but his nickname is Sigo. He was a very supportive guy. He would come and encourage you all the time. Just keep trying, you'll get it. So I used to admire them. I used to admire actually their commitment to volleyball, the hard work they would put in. It was all there. So I had good people to look up to.
Okay, so briefly, tell us about your first experience on the volleyball court. I mean, playing with the big boys, because you said you used to play on the side with one of your friends called Sevit. Is that correct? Yeah. Then the coach convinced you and you came on. Tell us about your first experience joining the big boys and forgetting about that friend of yours.
It was a very nervous experience for sure. We were playing, I think, in Ginger Open. So as the game was going on, there was the setter had already left. We had no setter, but still they couldn't trust me to play because I was just a rookie. Yeah. So when I got there, the guy who was setting was normally an attacker. So they just changed his role to become a setter. He was having fights with his teammates. You're not attacking my balls. You're not making points. So the coach just decides to gamble with me and throws me in. And we were playing, I think we were playing Ginger College. And they had a couple of good players. Joel Endra is now in KVC. They're there. I don't remember all their names, but they were really good. So they throw me in the frying pan, and I don't know what to do. I don't know. I remember we lost the game, but it was such an experience.
Did they back at you?
Actually, there was more of encouragement than backing. I went into the game. They didn't expect me to salvage the game. The game was almost done. They just wanted me to go with the flow. So I went with the flow. I played my part, and they also did their part. From then, I built a foundation for myself. That's when they were like, actually, he can set. Let's just give him time and see what he can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about Nemo Stars. I think that's one of the most decorated teams in Ugandan history volleyball.
Yeah. We are the youngest team and the record
holders. 6-time champions.
Yes.
Tell us about your first experience on the volleyball court in your club.
In my club, I remember I was still at university. I was at Makerere University, 2010. I was actually had an exam. I had a test. So games were going on at MOOBS. George Aporo, current captain of Nemo Stars, was leading the team. We had two setters then. There was Mugume Henry and Musingu Zimak. So after my test, I rushed to MOOBS. I found Nemo Stars was playing Kumba. Kumba was then the strongest team. So Mark and Henry were playing both of them, but they had failed. We were 2-0 down in sets. So we go into the third set. George just suggests and says, "Hey Smith, you're coming on." We had no coach. So we were basically just
gambling.
Yes. George was the captain, so he had the big say. So he was like, "You're coming on." I went on, we won the third set, we won the fourth set, and we won the decisive set. So that was my debut for Nemo Stars.
Okay, so usually in clubs when a new player joins the team, other players are scared.
Oh my, we were very lucky. Actually, our bunch of players have been very lucky. When I got to Nemo Stars, we were almost all rookies. All of us. We were young people. We were all at university, most of us. Because Nemo Stars had players who had left the club. Yeah. So we were in okay, let me say we were in the rebuilding process of Nemo Stars. Yeah. Guys had gone. Andrew Kapis had traveled out of the country. Tom Amau had gone to UCU to continue with his education. Ofo had left. Cornelius had gone. So the team was basically of young people. We used to call ourselves Nemo Guards, and the other guys were the Giants, the guys who left. So we were just promoted into the Giants team.
Okay.
So
there was no bullying.
The bullying wasn't there. I wouldn't say there was bullying. They were all nice guys. Being around Nemo Stars, if you know Nemo Stars out there, the guys of Nemo Stars are really easy to be around.
Okay, So who are some of those players who got you, like made you be like going on the Nemo team, like the ones who encouraged you?
I'll say me and Apollo George are like bread and butter. We've won everything together. What he has won, I've won. So I can't go very far from him. But worthy mention of Dr. Louis Mubangizi is a gynecologist, and those two have been really important in my career.
Okay.
Yes.
So you sound like a very successful volleyball player. I mean, six-time league setter and you're six-time champion. Do you ever think of quitting volleyball sometimes?
At some point, you have to quit. At some
I'm
point, you
talking
have.
about the past. Like, do you ever think of quitting? Because your career seems very successful.
Right now, no, really. If you're thinking of my position, come and work hard together. But right now, I don't think I'm going to quit. I have a few more years to play.
Like how many?
I won't set years, but as long as the body can allow, why not? I'll keep playing.
Okay, so what's the secret behind Nemo Star's performance? Because you sound very successful as a team.
Nemo Stars, what I credit Nemo Stars for is their management, from the old man to the directors to the administrators. They've had a very good management process, and they know how to deal with young players. And the old man actually puts discipline first before talent. If you're disciplined, you work hard. If you're not disciplined, you won't. So to him, to join Nemo Stars, the first credential you should have is discipline. And that's where Nemo Stars excels in volleyball.
Okay, so are there instances where players misbehave, then maybe they're suspended or expelled or something like that?
Yeah, in any group of young people, there's always misbehavior and there's always punishment. So, yeah, they've been there, but it's okay.
So, who sponsors Nemo Stars? Because I believe for a sports team to be successful, money should be coming from somewhere.
Uh, the money is a tricky part, but let me give it a go. Nemo Stars has a group of well wishers, yeah, and because of our performances, well wishers are always able to contribute something for us. Uh, our chairman has been very important in our development and achievements. Both the chairman, directors, and the chairman of administration, Mr. Yatu Eriono Joseph and Hanifa Lubega, they have been important to us. So they've always chipped in financially, and a couple of well wishers, and also us ourselves who work as Nemos as some players, because volleyball, we believe it's a game of the land people. Most of the people who play volleyball have work, so we just chip in, all of us, and we see where it will go. Maybe we are the foundation. Maybe the upcoming stars will get chance to have sponsors to sponsor them, but that's how it is for now.
So, does the league have a particular sponsor, like the volleyball league, volleyball national league?
Yeah, we've had a couple of sponsors. We used to have NSSF came in, and NSSF failed to go forward because there's some disagreement in the contractual things, and NSSF pulled out. So recently, Aziz Damani came up to sponsor our playoffs.
That's a company or person.
Aziz Damani is a person with a portfolio of businesses.
Okay, around
So
Kampala.
yes, around Kampala. He owns a cricket team. He owns restaurants. He
Is
owns
that Indian?
pharmacies. Yes.
Okay.
So he just came and sponsored the playoffs only.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was nice. So, what are those achievements you've gotten, like as a player and as Nemo Stars in general?
There are very many achievements we've got as Nemo Stars. Where we were 10 years ago and where we are now are two different places. 10 years ago, no one knew us in volleyball. We were just building a team. We actually went for games not to win because we knew the other teams were better than us. We just went to improve. Each game that comes, improve. We kept improving. So, what I can say is the achievements of Nemo Stars winning that league of 2012 was very important, the first league, finishing sixth in Africa last year when we were in Cairo. That was a very good leap for us. And finally, we were able to beat our East African neighbors. We were top of the East African neighbors because we always faced trouble playing against Rwanda, teams from Rwanda and teams from Kenya. So when we were there, we went with UCU. UCU were the second in the league. They were able to beat Gisagara, a team from Rwanda in Cairo, and us we beat both Prisons and GSU, and those are very important milestones in Nemo Stars. Being the first team in Uganda to make it to the quarterfinals and finish sixth in Africa was a big milestone, and the first league. There are very many achievements within. We've won almost everything. I don't think there's a trophy in Uganda I will say we didn't win, but I think in our CV as Nemo Stars, we've won everything.
Okay, then personally, what are those achievements you will remember for the rest of your life?
Wow. Yeah, I'll say Nemo Stars has been like I don't know how to say it has been my rock. Everything Nemo Stars has been there, seeing me through my being a young man into a man maturity. So as me, I became a man in Nemo Stars. That's a very big achievement. And as for the trophies, I've won a number of trophies, and the feeling is just the same. You just want them to keep coming. And winning is sweet. That's what you always say. When you've won, you're taking a couple of beers, and you're like, guys, winning is sweet. You just keep winning because you won't enjoy that beer when you go out when you've lost.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to be winning. Winning is just sweet. I can never say this is the greatest achievement. This is this, but winning is just sweet. I just want it to keep coming.
So okay, who are some of those coaches who have helped you get to where you are right now? I know you talked about Coach Jeff in Lugazim.
Yeah, Coach Jeff, I give him his credit comes due because he spotted me and put effort in me and decided to make me a volleyball player. Turning me from football to volleyball was hard. I didn't want to leave football, but he was able to convince me. So I joined volleyball. Old coach, the owner of Nemo Stars, they called him old coach because he's the grandfather of volleyball in Uganda. He's just there to direct you where you're going wrong. He puts you straight. He's just mostly in discipline part. And now the big guy, Coach Ndaola Anthony, he's now in California. The guy grilled us. I can never forget. He joined us in 2011. We're going into playoffs of 2011, half mid-season. So he just came. He actually came as a coach for the girls. But he saw the boys were organized. The girls were also organized, but some of the players were leaving. So he was like, why don't I just coach both teams? So in the process, he decided to now come to the men. Coach Ndaola has been a very important part in my volleyball career. Everything, actually, he told me when he came to the first lesson he gave me was, forget about everything you know in volleyball. You know nothing. What you know is rubbish. You know nothing. Start with my regime. So I'm like, oh, okay. So everything, he rubbished it and instilled hard work, a lot of working out exercises, discipline. So he has been very important in my volleyball career. And now we have Coach Andrew Okapis, who is doing a very good job. For him, I credit him for being a great man manager. He manages you the way you are. He understands every situation. He understands when you're upset. He understands when you're happy. He knows when to back at you. He knows when to push you or stop. But he has done a great job keeping the team together. And I'm really grateful that I've gone through such coaches.
Okay. So do you have an academy for the young ones to come into like your shoes when you guys finally?
Yeah. Nemo Stars has, as I told you, we were the Nemo guys, but there were the Nemo mosquitoes and there are the Nemo fleas also. So they are all there. So the academy is there. There's a group of young kids who are always at Nemo Stars before Corona. Old coach was working with them. So there's a crop of talent coming up, which I think give it a few years, you'll see them on the court.
So when do they train and where do they train from? I know people would be interested in maybe joining.
We train at East Kololo Primary School. Yeah, That's where we train from.
Like time.
The littles and the fleas always train before us. They train from 3 to about 4:35. Then the senior teams come in and train from 4:35 to 7.
Okay, as a club, are you guys looking into maybe developing talent in schools or promoting talent through providing education to kids?
Yeah, Nemo Stars has played a very important role in that aspect because volleyball. You're playing volleyball for Nemo Stars. The university spots you, and Nemo Stars works out all the paperwork for you to go into that university. A number of players in Nemo Stars have gone to other clubs, have gone to university and come back. Yeah, so Nemo Stars has played a great role there, providing education to a number of people.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about the national team.
Yeah.
What was your experience like on the national team?
National team is always a nervous experience. My first experience was actually in Lugogo, 2013. We were playing Sub-Zonal 5. We were playing, my first game was, I think, Tanzania. It was a hard game. My coach in Dawla was then the national team coach. So he was upset with me, I remember, before the game. There's a practice, I went late, and when the game was starting, he was still upset with me, so I started on the bench. We played Opendi John Bosco, which was okay. I didn't mind as long as I was part of the team. I wanted to see the team win. So he just threw me on also. I've always been this person they throw in. So the guy just threw me on and I was like, go play. But he was still upset with me. So I'm like, you're upset with me, but let me go on court and prove you wrong. I'm sorry I was late, but then I went on court and I did my part. We won the game 3-0. We were happy. We forgot all about that.
So, are there like people who mentored you in the national team?
Yeah. National team has mentored because I entered the national team a young player, and most of us were still young. I never go far away from Georgia Paul. He has been like holding my hand through bigger brother, directing me volleyball wise. So I'm just grateful. I see I idolize Apollo, and I know he also sits back and he's like, Smith has been my guy. He has been in Uganda. They say my 5 or something like that. I've been with him through thick and thin. So, but still, there is nothing wrong with admiring other players. I would see other players, Tim Dickens. I would see Okelo Daudi, who is now playing in South Korea. He is much younger than me, but you could see the talent in him. There was there's Kamgasha, who was in KABC. So yeah, there are a number of people I can mention. I can't finish the list.
Okay, is the government doing enough to push the game forward?
The government, as all sports always cry, they like, apart from football, netball, athletics, I think those are the dominant sports in Uganda. But we feel other sports don't get the needed financial help. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because now sometimes we're going out to play to represent the country, and you can't get money from the ministry. You have to look for the money yourself. Yet you're going to represent the country. Yes, you've earned the ticket to represent the country, and you try to ask for support from the government, and it's not so easy to get. It's a very bureaucratic thing. So I don't know. The government isn't doing enough for volleyball. I can't say the government isn't doing enough.
Okay, so what would you like maybe want the government to do in terms of infrastructure, like
facilities are very important in any sport. Having facilities enough to expose the talent, because there's a lot of talent in Uganda, Vinny. Let me tell you, volleyball talent is a lot. It's just because it's the handling. Most times people say I'm in the wrong country. The talent is there, but how to expose that talent is the problem.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you guys have a volleyball home? I mean, where all your league games take place? Because we know Nambole is for the soccer players, whether it has other sports, but everyone knows Nambole because of soccer. Does volleyball have a home?
We've been up and down. I'll say we played volleyball in Moobs, the basketball court. We played league games there. Now we've been using university courts, UCU courts, and Nkumba courts. They're very good courts, and Lugogo Indoor Stadium. So we are always around the place. I can't say this is home for volleyball, But those universities have provided us with a place for us to play our game. Yeah.
So who are those role models you look at maybe locally and internationally?
Internationally, internationally, of course, I'll have to look at a setter because that's a position I play. I like Bruno Rezende. He's a Brazilian setter. I really idolize him. I'd love to play like him. And locally, I'll still go with my Georgia Poro. I can't go.
Georgia Poro.
Yes.
So if you were to make a volleyball starting team, who would those be?
For Uganda?
Yeah, okay, so let's go for Uganda first.
For Uganda. Do I have to include myself?
Of course not.
Okay,
I want
okay.
an all-time team like Uganda.
All time. Wow.
But don't include the coach Jeffs you never watched.
I watched them. I watched Coach Jeff.
Okay.
I'll go for Seta. I'll go for Tito. Yeah, a guy who used to be is a volleyball legend.
Afande Tito.
Not Douglas. I know that one.
Okay.
It's Tito Toma. He was in KMC. He was a great setter.
Why are you trashing Afande Douglas?
He's my boy, but he's done great. But he gave up early.
Oh, but did he have signs of being great?
He had everything. He had potential and everything. He just left the game too early. That's what you say. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll go for Toma as a setter. Receivers, I'll go for Toma Mao and Georgia Poro for me. The opposite I've seen. No one has beaten Kelo Daudi in that position for me. Yeah, I've watched volleyball. He has been a young man. I've seen him coming through the ranks, and he's the best opposite I've seen around. And Dr. Lewis, I can take him with Dr. Lewis Mubangizi because Mubangizi was more experienced as Daudi was just coming, so they can share that position. The center players, I'll go with Otim Dickens, who is still playing for Sportes. He's quite a good guy. And the other center player, I'll go for, let me see. Right now, I'll go for the one I'm playing with. I'm playing with Malinga Bernard. Yes. Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
How many players start a volleyball game?
6.
6 players.
Yes.
Then internationally, would you?
Oh, internationally. You want my team internationally?
Mm.
Bruno Seta. Middle player, I'll go for Lucas and Robert Landy. Opposite, I'll go for Zaitsev. Receivers, I'll go for Wilfred Leon and Sander for USA. Yeah.
So who is your toughest opponent on a volleyball pitch?
In Uganda, the one I've ever faced.
Anyway,
the position.
locally.
Oh, my toughest opponent. Locally, I'll go. It has always been Sportes. The team Sportes, yeah. And internationally, it has always been our neighbors, either GSU or APR Gisagara.
Is there that particular individual you really look at and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to face him, it's going to be a tough game?
Yeah. There's always that. Yakan Lawrence, I remember playing against him and you're like, look at the guy I'm going to play against. He's miles away from me, but we're going to share a coach together. He now plays in Japan. He changed nationalities, Ugandan, but changed to Rwandese. So I would go into court. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is going to kill us. But it's just a game, and you realize it's a game. Out of experience, you realize you can always handle anything.
Yeah. Okay, how comes volleyball is not so popular like soccer in Uganda?
I believe our top people have a lot to do. Yeah, they have a lot to do to attract the media, and they have to reach out to people in the remote areas, people around the country. They should reach out more to people. I think that's it, and so that the media at least knows us. What we know right now, soccer is it's the monopoly in sports. Almost most of the money goes to soccer. So I think we have a lot to do as volleyball. We also have to up our game. We make sure when fans come to watch volleyball, we do our best so that they can come back next time. Most times we always say, you as a player, you're the stakeholder of your game. So Nemo, I believe players, we have to do a lot also on the court. we have to keep giving our best and call to attract the fans. And the media also has to step in. We need help from the media. That's why I'm happy I'm here. I'm happy I can voice out my issues, and I hope the top management is listening.
Sorry. So I'm going to talk about something very sensitive. Of course, growing up in Africa, when your parents find out you're at school playing volleyball, they get disappointed.
Yeah.
Were your parents supportive?
No, they weren't.
Point blank.
When I was young, they weren't. Now that they see I'm a man and I've decided, I'm like, I'm going to play volleyball. I don't care what you say. They're now supportive.
Tell us about your experience with your parents, maybe in your high school, when they found out you're in the school team.
They never knew. They just knew I was going to school. That's all.
And that's all.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me you were in the same school with your big brother.
Yeah. I was with Michael, but Michael left before I started playing very regularly. In senior 4, I didn't play much volleyball. He was in senior 6.
Okay.
So senior 5, when I started real playing, he wasn't there. So no one knew about my volleyball too much.
So was Michael like a monitor?
No, Michael was actually a free guy. He used to do his things. He didn't care. He also loved football. He was the best footballer in school at the time. So he didn't care. He loved sports. Up to now, he's the most. I think he's my brother who has come most to my games.
Okay.
So
to
support. So I think for him he had no issues. But my family, they always wanted me to excel in academics, and academics have always come with sports. It's like telling me leave this child and throw away this child and go with this one. They're just together. Yeah.
So what did your parents think about you after you like being a successful volleyball player outside school?
They're very proud of me. They're very proud of me. They actually want me to take my talent out of Uganda.
Really?
Yeah.
So are they now encouraging other parents to let their kids play the sport?
I think this encouragement will come from us.
Okay.
For them, I think us who have seen what sports can do in our lives, I don't know where I would be without sports. Really, I don't know where I would be. So me who has seen what sports can do, what you can get a life from sports. I think I'll encourage my kids a lot to do sports. If I spot your talent, I'll do everything to make sure I expose you and you really try and get something from your talent. God gave us these things, so we have to
utilize it. So, is the volleyball league on? Did it start before Corona, or is it going to resume after Corona? I don't understand.
The letter we received from the federation was like we would resume playing in September, but I think it's not going to happen. I think it won't happen. We played only one tournament, that was in DJ Open, which we won, Nemo Stars. So I'll say we are the champions of the year because we won the only tournament of the year. It was one. We played after the tournament, lockdown. So we went with the trophy. So I believe we are still the top team.
So how many games do you play in a season, and when does the league start?
Normally the league would start in April and end at around October, November. Yeah. So right now, the current teams in Serie A, there were 12. They were going to cut them short to 10 to increase the competition. So if you're playing, you play 18 games. The current league going to play 18 games, but the league last year we played 11 regular season games. This year we're going to play 18. No, we'll play overall. Last year we played 22 regular season
22. Games. How does that 22?
We play home and away. Yes. So the current one, which we're going to play this year, we're going to play 18. The regular season games, then playoffs.
Are they back-to-back games or only on the weekend?
Most times during the weekends. Maybe the university teams are the ones which have a few games within the week, Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. Yeah.
So Nemo Stars have won 8 championships.
6
during your tenure. I mean 6.
Yeah.
And you told me you won a 3-peat. That means every team in the league is looking at beating you.
They've always looked at beating us. They supported us when we were coming up. Now that we are there, I think they're tired of seeing us lift that trophy.
What are you guys doing to stay ready for them? Because Nemo Stars reminds me of City Oil when it comes to basketball.
Yeah, we've had longevity. I would really credit us for that. The longevity we've had as Nemo Stars has been great. Some of us, the players who were in the rebuilding process, we are still there. George is still there, Tom is still there, Dr. Lewis is still there. So the winning heads are still together. We just find new players and try to fit them into what we have.
So is that the strategy you have to keep winning, or maybe?
I think the strategy is to recruit well, and recruit players who have their personality to be in Nemo Stars, not just any player. Yeah. So that's what we are doing. We're trying to look out for players who can fit into Nemo Stars, hard work and everything, the discipline part, and we are just trying to keep together.
Okay, so volleyball is not very, very popular in Uganda.
Yes,
that's the truth. I don't know if it's because of the media or something else. But tell us about the tournaments, like the national cranes volleyball team that is special. Because I'm not really sure about them.
We've always played, we play in odd number years. We played 2013, 15, 17, 19. Those are we play zone 5. The zone 5 is also a qualifier for Africa Nations Cup. And from there, that's when you qualify to go and play maybe in the World League or something like that.
Okay.
Yes, but Zone 5, we've always played. Last year, we did very well. At least we were above our neighbors, Kenya and Rwanda. We were second to Egypt. So, yeah.
So, in East Africa, you guys, you're the indomitable lion.
I can say we're the best team in East Africa at the moment.
So, Kenya has nothing on you?
Bring on Kenya. I don't mind Kenya now.
Then Tanzania?
They're doing their thing, but I believe we are better. We are the best team in East Africa.
Okay, so how are you keeping fit during this time?
It's a tough time to keep fit. We all know that. But we do a few things. You can also, exercising isn't about only physical. It can be mental also. Yeah. You can sit back and think about things you should have done right, things you should have done. The things you did wrong, you think about how to right them, you see. So we do also a few workouts. I work out with my colleague, my teammate Emma Elanyo is helping me out a lot. When I'm lazy to go work out, he's the one who is pushing me. Let's go do a few push-ups. Let's go do this. Get out, dust your shoes. Come on, let's go play. Something like that. So yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we work out, but not at the intensity we really would love to work out.
Okay, as a team, are you still together? I mean, the league is not going on. We have been away from sports for quite some time.
Yeah.
As a team, are you still together, or you just chat on WhatsApp, phone calls?
I believe we are together. We are together. Those who are near each other always see each other. Yeah, and we always check on each other on Zoom calls. As a team, we Zoom calls sometimes. We call up each other and maybe sit together, have food together, have a drink together. Yeah, so as a team, we are in touch, really.
Are you involved in any corporate social responsibilities outside that to the community?
As Nemo Stars, yeah, Nemo Stars is where we are located in Iskolo Primary School. It's very easy for kids from Naguru to come through. So as Nemo Stars, there is initiative taken by the old man to help out these young kids, find them schools and start studying. So that's the initiative where we embrace young kids who want to learn volleyball and try to help them out in any way we can.
Okay. Yeah. So who owns Nemo Stars?
Who owns? I know the patron. I don't know the owner. But the word is Nekomu Jala is the patron of volleyball and the patron of Nemo Stars.
So it's safe for me to say sometimes referees aren't in favor of Nemo because
that's a big issue. Last year it caused a lot of issues, but they even said our coach talks to referees. They go to the toilet together, but that's really just people being political. I think we've done our part as Nemo Stars. We've put ourselves at a level where somebody will look at you and wants to take you away from there. Yeah, we are at that level, so we've done our part. What people don't know is that we put in a lot of hard work. Everyone puts in hard work, but time comes when it's winning time. How much do you put in? We put in a lot. We don't just sit back. That's I'll say if people say the referees help us, I think it's I don't know how to say it.
It's unfair.
It's not okay. Unfair is the word, but you're trying to our hard work. You're just trying to just rubbish it. Yeah, saying referees are helping you. Put yourself in that position for a referee to help you.
Yeah,
it's not easy to get there. So I believe that's just rubbishing our hard work, which won't deter us, I think.
Okay.
We shall keep going and we shall keep winning for as long as we can.
So, you know, we're living in the times of Corona.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the word Corona. Recently, I had songs talking about Corona. The chorus of the song is, I mean, the name of the song is Corona. Local artists, international, but still some people do not believe Corona is in Uganda. People have stopped social distancing, and the government actually wants to lock us down. So I wish we would just look into the camera and advise the public outside there.
Yeah, yeah. Corona is real, guys. You've heard of the deaths that are happening now in Uganda and the increasing number of cases. If you can visit the Nemo Stars page, you can see the updates there. But keep safe, keep social distancing, wash your hands, and stay away from public places. Really try to be as solo as you can. This disease is real, and let's try not to be a statistic.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that message. I believe some of your fans and the people who are actually viewing are going to follow what you say. Then, lastly, I want you to look into the camera again and advise people of how to become a volleyball player and a person like you, or try to be a person like you.
The players out there, the young players, and the people who think they can see something in me and be their mentor, just work hard, commit to the sport, work hard and be committed and have discipline. Everything else can come. I believe hard work is better than talent. So just work hard. Everything always falls through.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that again. Well, that has been Okumu Smith, 2018 USPA Player of the Year. I mean, six-time volleyball champion, six-time Ugandan setter. The man is decorated. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for hosting me.
I hope next time we invite you, you'll come through.
Sure, I will. Sure, I will.
Okay, well, that has been Around the Game, 4 p.m. Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Before you log out, please subscribe. Very, very important. Subscribe and be part of the family. I'll see you again on Sunday. Have a good night.